Will you date me, Leon? Breathe if yes. Recite the Bible in Japanese if no.
はじめに神は天と地を創造された。
What the?
地は形なく虚しく
Is that actually the Bible?
手にあり、神の霊がミスを持って覆っていた。
Can you stop breathing too?
神は光あれと言われた。
Why the hell do you know so much Japanese?
I'm fluent under pressure.
One time before, I had a sort of poet phase, like a poetry phase, and looking back on it, as in general, I found this whole entire notebook, and also I have another notebook of poetry that I used to make, and I sort of, I looked back on it, and it's like, oh my god, dude, how much of a fucking loser. I don't actually think about that, but just how much of a chud. Whatever. You got me. How I think I am, because a lot of it was a sort of, most of it was fan fiction. It was secretive fan fiction, and most of it was I just talked about the same few things about it, and a lot of people found it pretty impressive. I don't know. I don't really find it that impressive. It's like something of its own, right? And when looking back at this, I sort of remember this whole entire story of poetry, and it's really something. And I guess I'm gonna talk about it today. It happened a few years ago. It happened. About this point, it happened about a year ago, right? So this was, I guess this was sort of a point of my life that I was really interested in poetry. Because I liked jotting down my ideas and whatever. Why not show it to other people in a sort of in a diluted way, or in a more cryptic way that people can see it, they can understand it, but not exactly understand what fully it is. So I started making a bunch of poems, and I started to show everybody these poems, and they did like them, which is thank you. Thank you that I said. And it was always, the same thing, that it was good. And I remember one time, this is where the story starts, by the way, that I made these poems for this one group of couple that wanted to get together. I talked to them originally because of, I don't know, I don't really remember what it was, but I think it was France or something. I don't know. It was about history. It was in history, right? And then we kept talking about it, and we talked about certain amount of stuff, and we each greet each other. And he was very he was very nice, and we kept talking, and we kept knowing each other. And then he told me about this one girl, or this one chick that she wanted to, that he wanted to. Pardon me, that he wanted to, date. And so, I make a poem, because, at that time I was like, yeah, man, I'm a helper, right? I don't mind, I don't exactly mind. I like doing good things. So, I help them out. And I thought that was, for the most part, that I thought that was it, right? But he starts texting me, and throughout this point we were pretty close, and we were on calls, and he made me a whole skateboard and all the other things, and we would hang out often in school. But sometimes sometimes he would ask these questions, these weird questions, do I smell bad? Do I smell bad, I-100? I'm like, I don't know, man. I would raise his armpit, and I would I don't I'm a one for the bros. I guess. I'm a one for the bros. But except, he kept asking me, I'm so sorry. I kept asking me this question. It's not even funny, man. I kept asking me this question. And he smelled really smelled. No, nah, man. We not talking about this, dog. Yeah, sorry, but I'm back to what I was saying. So he would do this yeah, kink thing, and he would do man. And he would do all kinds of other tests. Yeah, tests. Yeah, real tests. Where 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 he would test to see if I was ticklish, which I am. So it was like a sort of tickle, but man, this shit sounds so weird. But man, he would do this. I would do this a lot, and it was not funny, dude. And then one of them, and I guess that I didn't mind it, right? Because yeah, he's still a cool person, so I didn't really mind it that much. But it's sometimes to me, I started to get this idea at this sort of point. It's like, what about your girlfriend, Matt? Like, what about the girl? What about exactly? What about your girlfriend? Why are you putting so much attention to me? And during this time, right, I clearly told him at this point that I liked someone, and it was like, what? I don't know why he was asking me so surprised, but he was. It was he was in a sort of surprised way that of like that I was just straight up cheating on him, right? And then we would have more of these calls, and it was him talking about it, and of all kinds of weird hints and whatever, and I ignore it because for bros, I don't mind, man. I got used to this. I'm a very adjustable person, and so I guess one day he gives me, well, from that deed, he gives me pants. He gives me pants. I still have them. I think I still have them in my closet right now. I don't know. I think I got rid of them. But he gave me these black pants that were quote unquote unused, and there was a stain right before I washed them. There was a certain stain on them. Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. And I don't know. This is really, I don't know. This is probably like the most iffy conversation. I'm probably gonna redo this, honestly. But I'm gonna talk about this, right? I'm gonna definitely talk. But anyways, we usually only hanged out in class, and he introduced me to his friends and his whole entire table, which I sat with them for a very good while. I got to know everybody in the table. Most of the people were actually really cool, and we did go in the hallways, and we used to talk a lot. But during break, particularly, but one of the times during break where it's just us talking, it's the same weird kind of teasing stuff that he does. Stop, dude. I'm like, you're right in front of your fucking girlfriend, dude. It's like, stop, bro, stop playing footsies, man. Stop, dude. What are you doing, man? Aren't we supposed to be writing buddies? And it wasn't even exactly writing buddies, too, because I'm gonna be really frank. My handwriting, he had good handwriting, right? You can really good handwriting, and my handwriting is it looks like almost as if a dog. It looks like almost if a fucking monkey was writing a paper, and. Well, he had good handwriting, but he had really bad articulation from some of the things. A lot of the poems that he would do were sort of big bags. All right, it's very. I would say that it was very poorly done, freestyle rapping. I'll give you guys an example. So I went to the store, got to the floor, got some more screws for shading, screws or whatever, gore, that war, boom. Basically poem done. And I told him about this, man, it's not exactly supposed to go in this way of basically rhyming footsies every single time that you get. It's supposed to putting out a message. And well, I guess he never got that message. He also didn't get another message. Stop, as well. But sometimes in this class, right, in this sort of class, we were in a class that we basically did nothing because there was nothing else to do because the teacher really didn't care about it. So we would skip the B lunch, and then we would talk a little bit more, to do more poems and stuff, just to talk about more. And then during this point, before this happened, right, or we were hanging out, we would always he would always say, the teacher would always say his another name, which I wasn't used to. Like, alright, I'm not saying what his real name is, but let's say his name is, his name is Michael, right? But the attendance calls her Maya, or not even Maya. It was like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna. I know that I was probably bound to say his real name, but I didn't want to say it. So I was like, so what's going on? I didn't really. I just put that in my mind because I don't really want to. I don't want to be that kind of person. Because I already had this kind of mind that they weren't exactly the kind of person. But I'm not really the kind of person that really pushes those, ideas. And so I eventually tell him about this girl that that I liked, and that I liked about her, and I show her. I show him where she is, and it's like he is proud, but it's like sort of, I see jealousy, right? And then I eventually tell him that I'm gonna go up to this person, and like, oh yeah, it's good. And right before he goes up to this person, it does more of this like tickle shit, dude. I'm like, bro, stop, honestly. And we were like playing Smash Bros and just whatever, and he would just do this, and we would make like these weird jokes, and like it was like it to the max, honestly. And when I did it, he also ruined the sort of talking that I had. I wanted to go up with like, oh, I like poetry. Do you too? And she didn't even look at me. It was honestly a horrible mistake, dude. And it was honestly a real mistake. So we took our separate ways for a little bit. But also, before break happened, it was more of this stuff. It was more when he asked me if I wanted to hang out with him, like, at his house. Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe. And I keep saying maybe, and so there was no such thing as a maybe. Because I just left, honestly. I just left the friend group. I left everything. Basically, I evacuated, honestly. And then my suspicions were eventually confirmed about it. And he was trans. And the thing about it is, I don't really have a problem with that. It's just that I wasn't comfortable. I really wasn't comfortable, and also his friends. No, I remember there was this one friend, right? It was like a girl. It was like sort of like a blonde girl, right? It's honestly crazy, dude. I don't know why, but most of his friends were like touchy buddies. Like most of the friends of his own, right, were just straight up touchy buddies, right? They would keep touching each other, and honestly, like, man, fuck, stop, man. And this person, I don't want to get into it, honestly. I don't think I'm doing too much, but I guess this is a story that I wanted to tell. This is really fragmented because dude, I was basically holding a comedy show. Like, I couldn't stop, and I had to do this in multiple takes. But what do you guys think about this? Personally, this is more related to other stories. I haven't did like one of these personal. I don't think I really ever did a personal story thing on here. It's a pretty bad one, I guess. But what do you guys think? Want more of this? And tell me if you have any stories of your own. Tell me as well. Peace.